Here with Fnatic.H4nn1 after their 3-0 domination of Na'Vi in the winter final. Did you guys expect to be in the final like this?
No, I would say we didn't expect to be in the final in the 3-0 stomp, if you want to call it, but I think we would have really tough games. Like the games we had were still very intense, especially the third game. I thought it was very hard to come back from that game. But yeah, against Na'Vi, it's like, I think we actually talked about it afterwards. I don't think anyone has played a BO5 against them and did not drop a map. So it was very exciting for us.
Why do you think you guys did so well?
I actually think what it came down to is more that the morale within the team and who makes the calls pretty much brought us to a higher level. Because before it was more like someone in the team has to make the call, but it was like, you know, you don't have strong decisions. Sure, they have to be right as well, but it's more like if none says it, then for example a tower defense or something will not happen, because then everyone has his own idea and you would take farm over it. But if actually one person speaks through and makes calls, it makes the game a lot easier for everyone.
And who's doing that now? Is it you?
Yeah. It's like we kind of came to the conclusion that it's the best when I do it. Jahan is doing it with me. Like, he will give a lot of ideas, and then by that usually I would determine how we should change up stuff, such as in the third game with the Venomancer, that he went middle, because I knew it would have gone terribly wrong if it would have stick to the dual lane top. I really think so. And we had to make a rotation happen, because we usually run with a two-core carry, which was Vano in that sense as well in that game. Sure, he was very far behind, but he had a chance to get experience now in the third game when he went middle. And since I didn't really gain much from standing middle, I just farmed forest, and it was a very important call, I think.
These days, you know, after TI, everyone just kind of looked at Na'Vi and Alliance and just thought these two teams are going to be the best for a long time. But apparently, they, you know, whether it's kind of taking it easy after TI, whether it's other teams, you know, working harder, they don't seem to be having the results recently the same way that they've been having before. Do you think that's why do you think that is?
I think it's very obvious to me. Not like Alliance, before they started winning and winning, they were the team that did the most. They, of course, talent comes to it. There's a lot of other teams that practice a lot. You got to get your 5 people that work together. Sure, that's the key point before that. But after that, it's the team that does the most will gain the most. Obviously, that's just how life works. And Alliance did play a lot. They scrimmed a lot, and deservingly got the first place at TI. Like Na'Vi is always kind of special case. I think for them, they still have the passion for Dota, but I don't actually think they scrim that much. But they know when they're behind, they have to do something, and they usually get it ready for the important games.
And you know, you guys went to MLG as well. Didn't get the results you wanted at MLG. What changed between then and now? Just a couple of days difference, you know. But probably didn't practice at all between. So what changed?
As I said, you gotta have the mentality going into the games. And for me, like the whole changing up with making the calls, draft was one thing, sure, as well. We adjusted stuff. We thought about what we want to value in the draft, but also we didn't have really one guy leading the team. It was very important for us, because I don't know, it's new to me, like doing that whole calling thing, because before that I said I don't want to do it, because as the mid, it's like I'm very focused on not getting ganked.
It's hard to like look and like make calls from mid.
Yeah, you would be very surrounded by making sure you're not getting ganked, and then CSing in middle and whatnot, lane control. It's very hard to do everything, but since we kind of switched up how we play, especially for me, is when I would go for heroes that don't really require that much farm, it makes it easier for me to make the calls, because I'm going to be eventually the hero that makes stuff happen. So from that perspective, I'm not going to always play the hard carry or like the second carry, since Trixie loves to farm, we had to adjust something. Like, it could have been him doing more, you know, like being more of that supportish, like Funnick kind of player, where he would rotate very early to help out Dandy or like the safe lane or whatnot. But yeah, it worked out better for us if I would do that, and then he would stick to the farming, because he's very good when he gets farm. He's really, really good when he gets farm.
You guys also went to Korea. You played in Nexon. What did you think of that whole experience?
Korea was actually an awesome experience overall.
I saw your tweets. You guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, starting with the event itself, I think Nexon did a great job. The whole hosting, how we were taken care of, was amazing actually. I really loved Korea for that reason. Then Korea is hell of a party experience. I think I was out every night. But yeah, we had a lot of fun.
What do you think of the Korean teams?
I think the biggest issue for them is they don't get a learning experience, because that's what you can often see, in my opinion, with American teams as well. You would have to practice more likely with American teams, so you're stuck with ideas. You sure get new ideas, yes, but it's like it's very hard to find more and more opponents, so you get ideas to actually change up your draft, to adjust play, and that's the issue for Koreans. They will most likely play against Koreans. Sure, they can play against Asian teams as well, but if you get stomped, it might be better in the long run. Sure, you will learn eventually, but yeah, it's really hard for them to just get on the higher level when they would stick around playing with their own kind. Like, if they only get to play with Koreans that are obviously right now not at that level where the rest is, understandable, it's going to be really hard to step up.
How far away are they? The games look pretty bad. Games look pretty far away.
Oh, I actually think it wasn't that far. Individually, they weren't that bad. I really don't think so. Like, you just notice they don't have the experience on how to run the game. I guess it's not really individual play. I think individually they could be very close. I don't think they're that bad. You'll see in a laning phase, they wouldn't just get outplayed one-on-one. They wouldn't. But it's more like the team decision. For example, if you have a bad lane, that's draft already. Their draft was pretty terrible in almost all games. You don't know what they do because there's no real game plan, or they think their heroes are really good, but they don't actually see the bigger picture. Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, yeah, individually not far behind, but yeah, then gameplay and just knowledge, how to play Dota in a way, team-wise, very far.
And I think Dota is one of those games that it's hard to get practice without playing the best teams, and it's like, as Kuroki said this too, that it's useless for good teams to play, teams on that level, because they don't gain anything from it either. You guys, who do you guys scrim with the most, when you have a chance?
If we scrim, I think we almost take, like, I actually had like a little disagreement when you said it, because I think there's a lot of semi-pro teams that you would all practice, because it's still like they give you ideas, because these teams, especially in the European scene, there's a lot of teams that actually give you ideas, in my opinion, on what you can run. I think the last surprising team to me, I mean, player-wise not very surprising, like Roxkiss, what I was thinking about is like GoBlack's way he approaches draft was always weird, but it's like very efficient, and like that were the qualifying games for G League, and it was very tough, and it brings you a lot of ideas on how you actually can approach a game. So I wouldn't say there's very little to practice against. And yeah, to your question originally, who we play the most against, I would say probably the Russian teams, all kinds of Russian teams. Roxkiss, quite some. But yeah, lately against Navi, our line's very little. Like, we don't really practice them at all.
Navi gave you guys Wisp 2 games in a row. Wisp Tiny, you guys played twice. How confident are you with that combo? Because you guys seem to have an extremely high win rate when you play with those heroes. Do you think teams just need to ban those heroes against you, or do you think it's like if they play it enough, they'll get around it?
I think you can either ban it, then you got it out of the way. The issue about Wisp is that you have to play according, in the sense that splitting up is you get punished. You just get punished. If you have one hero that can catch, like a lion or a bat rider, you just need that one hero, then you can't farm anymore in the lane. Like just a tiny wisp is not going to kill you when you have a BKB, for example, or like an escape, like a dagger. But then it's just about the initiation. Like you have to catch, then tiny wisp gets very scary, and then you either have a very strong push lineup and you have to finish the game very early, or you're gonna face a tiny late game when he gets a Ghanim's and a Kuras. You're always gonna end up in a trade because they can TP the base, and then you have 5-man Dota against 2 people Dota that will still push faster than you. So that's one option. Another one is, I would say that you just have to sit on tiny. I don't know, like it's still very hard. It's really hard though. But yeah, I'm not sure. Or play it yourself.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the issue is that you guys don't need to worry about banning Wisp ever, since not a lot of other teams run it.
Obviously, I mean, it's same with Alliance back in the phase when Lone Druid was very strong. Then you always have to have that one ban in your head that you have to use because you don't play the hero. Like, it obviously gives you a very far edge because you have 2 bans to start up with, and you know one of them has to be a certain hero, and that gives you a big edge. It really does.
And it's kind of the opposite with the hero like Furion. Like, you guys like using Furion. Yeah. They like using Furion. So if you have first pick, it's very difficult because they waste one of their bans on a hero they want to use. You know, if they know you're gonna first pick it. So the final day, the loser bracket team has got to play 2 best-of-5s. And I remember talking to Kuroki about this too. He says that every game that is played degrades in quality. Like, your decision making comes from fatigue eventually. Do you feel that way when you guys play, or is 10 games just fine, no problem?
No, I can kind of agree with that. It really depends on how the games run, obviously. Like, if there's a game that's like, let's say, a 60-minute game, and then you know you have to go for another game before that BO5 even finishes, it's going to be very exhausting. And yeah, I'm not sure how they will adjust with the breaks in between, because I think that DreamHack is going to be very tight on the schedule, obviously, because they know they have the 2 BO5s, and you can't just end at 3 AM or something. It doesn't work. So it's going to be very hard for the players. It really is.
Do you like this format, the DreamLeague format, or would you rather they have like an open, you know, they BYOC kind of qualifier, and then there's like groups and all that? Do you like that more, or do you like this new format with less teams?
I kind of do like this format, just because it brings the player to the limit. It really does. It is exhausting, but then again, the amount of games that you actually like play is almost the same, shorter duration. But I think one big factor why I like it is just that these games get way more action-packed for the viewer as well. They can be, and it's very tenseful. Like, it can happen that and we're actually thinking what is going to happen. The winner bracket final, in my opinion, is going to be 4 to 5 games. I really think so. So you'll have, and that's only loser bracket final, and that's only the loser bracket final, and you know it's going to be another BO5. Sure, it can happen that it's going to be a stomp, but even then, you have 5. Like, it's potential 5 games. Potential 3 games is like, it can end really fast. It really can end fast. But yeah, 5 games makes it a lot more interesting, I think, as spectating as well. I think it's very, very cool.
Okay, well, you guys are sitting in a pretty good position. Sitting in the final, you get to watch your opponents play all these matches, play as hard as they can. How much of an advantage is it really to get to see, you know, them to play all these games over and over before they play you?
Well, I think the biggest advantage for us is going to be just that we don't have to play 5 hours before that. So we can take our time and schedule the day we want to do it. Like, for us, actually, we thought until yesterday we had the game at 6 and not at 1. So I actually didn't get to have much sleep because I was watching partly the games from yesterday as well. I mean, same for Navi. They actually didn't have that much sleep because I believe they were at the hotel around 3, like 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So obviously for them it's going to be like 6 hours sleep, and if you want to be there early to like warm up, which takes like around 2 hours, I'd say, then you sleep 6 hours, and yeah, that's not enough, or like it's really not a lot.
What? Okay. Well, I hope you guys, do well in the final. It was fun watching you guys. Hopefully, the team that you played doesn't give you Wisp again.
Oh.
But what have you been doing, outside of Dota these days? Just everyday practice, everyday play? Because it seems like there's Dota every single day.
Much, like,
last couple months.
Yeah, lately, it's like when I'm at home, at least I stay healthy. Like I have my schedule, I work out, then I can sort of keep it together. But as soon as we travel, it kind of falls all apart because you don't really have a time schedule anymore. You gotta play then and there, and then it's also like you're not really in the mood for it. So yeah, it's a lot of practice beside that. But yeah, I don't really have much time.
What do you do on your downtime?
Downtime. I mean, I really do enjoy clubbing. Like time like.
Are you a good dancer?
I don't know. I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no.
What kind of music?
What kind of music?
Yeah.
To dance?
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to?
Well, EDM. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of vocals always. Vocals is like key. No vocals, the music is gonna be bad. So, yeah. That's like the time I would enjoy next to gaming a lot.
Do any of your are any of your teammates like that, or are they different?
Actually, Trixie is like sort of like me. We really do enjoy, especially after events, the after party, or like at least going out. Like it's one of the things we will always do. It's a lot of fun, but the others a little less. I mean, they're younger, so there's other stuff you can do next to partying.
You guys are you're turning back stereotypes of the typical pro gamer. They seem like your team. You guys go out, you guys enjoy yourselves, you guys work out. You guys seem to be kind of different than what, like, if someone were to say like, oh, these guys train for professional gaming, they kind of see a image.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't hold much of this whole stereotype things. I mean, when I grew up, when I was in gaming, I mean, I've been in gaming for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
So it was the same deal. But the thing for me is, luckily, I was very talented generally in all sports. I mean, I've been through plenty of sports.
Like which ones?
I played football, I played volleyball, I played tennis, I played hockey, I played ice hockey, I played all kinds of sports, and I was
ice hockey.
Yeah, when I was young.
And which one did you like the most?
I would say I liked handball, I guess, the most.
Handball?
Yeah.
I don't even know the rules to that.
No, but it's not the American handball. It's not like this against the wall hitting thing.
Yeah, there's like a goal and stuff.
It's kind of like football, but you just can't use your feet.
And what made you pick Dota?
It started very early, actually. Back then, like my best friend, he just played that game in 5. It wasn't 5.4, like a version before that. He just started playing it, and suddenly I got inspired, and yeah, then I started playing.
When did you realize you were good at it, good enough to be a professional? That is.
I never took it as such. Like same, also with all my other sports, I had options to actually get better in other sports, but I didn't want to do it, like, because I thought of my life, okay, it's always a risky thing. Like I learned that from my mom, and she brought me up that way. So it's like I never took it as such. I only did it for the enjoyment. I gotta say, even let's say like with a boot camp before TI, I realized it, which is quite short on the range, like for the amount of time I actually spend on gaming.
Yeah.
That it's getting to a job, like where I actually take it serious, and I don't do it because I enjoy doing it. So ever since then, I guess that's where I took that serious, where I actually took it that serious. Yeah. Before that, it was just I was good. I didn't care if I was good. I just enjoyed playing. So.
Well, you also probably enjoy playing because you win a lot, too. I imagine that it's probably, like a self,
yeah. I mean that's thing. That's an ego thing though. In the sense, like, for me, it's like if I want to do something, I do it right.
Yeah.
I want to be the best. Like I would always aim for that. Obviously, like you're not. I couldn't be like. I would always be concentrated. So I would try to make the best in whatever I do.
I remember talking to a lot of pro gamers, and they seem to be motivated by certain things, and one of the main things they're motivated by is they're motivated more by they hate losing more than they like winning. How do you feel about that? Is it more like what's a team like after a loss?
I actually don't have. I mean, there is. I get that part. Of course, you hate losing, obviously, but I actually go into the game. I get very sad if we lose, but it's not like I'm like, okay, the next thing I do is play a pop so I win a game. No, I don't. I would be like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna take a break now. I don't want to play, and I would do something else. But no, the motivation is there to get better, yes, but it's not because I lost. It's because I just wanna improve myself or be the best. But it's not the negative thinking.
Okay, well. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. You wanna have anyone to thank for the end of the interview?
Thanks to all my sponsors, MSI, ISO, and all the others we have. The many sponsors, and yeah, shout out to Liquid.
Thank you for taking the time with us. It was very enlightening. And I think you guys have a lot of people cheering for you in the final. Get a new champion this time, maybe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.